I woke up on the weekend and I didn't really feel like doing anything. I spent hours watching TV, sitting around before I was finally able to do anything and get up. And I still was not very productive throughout the day and I was just going through the motions. I went to the gym, but I know I had 5% left. I did not push as hard as I could have in the gym. And do you really think I felt good? Absolutely not. I knew I could do better, but I don't know what was going on, but I really didn't want to. I was just sitting there like I don't want to. It's like that. Anyways, this happened very recently, like a month or two ago, which is why I'm making this video. While it's still fresh in my mind what happened, and to help you not fall into the same trap as me. All right. Let's talk about why you're not motivated in the first place. I found many reasons why I was not motivated in that situation that I just talked about. I had poor sleep, I had a lot of junk food the previous day, and my brain was kind of foggy from the carbs, all the carbs I ate. And, you know, yesterday I had like a very bad day. But there is just like one reason that I'm going to really focus on today, and it's not that. And we can fix this right now. That reason is that you are doing this self improvement journey only for yourself. Now, you may be thinking, what? Why wouldn't I be doing this for myself? And well, obviously, we are doing this for ourselves. Many men like me and you have been brainwashed by these Sigma males who to not care about anything but ourselves. No women, no family, no pets, no goddamn birds. I don't. We. They talk about being this lone wolf and that we don't want anything else distracting us and everything is bad for us and to throw it all aside. And while this sounds good, they only use it because saying, "Oh, I do nothing for myself," makes them look like the hero when they're really just a weak man who's sitting there, his stomach hanging out of himself. He's got weak, flabby arms, and he's like, muscles. And, he really feels bad about himself. A lot of these Sigma male YouTubers, they suck. Um, but as humans, we only have, a limited tank of motivation for these things. It's funny. When it comes to doing things, our brains really don't see ourselves as a good enough reason. Like the brain, the thing that's moving my entire body right now and having me say these words to you, doesn't think that improving myself is a good enough reason to do something. But only for activities that are really hard, like going to the gym, studying, recording videos. And, because it has a lot of friction with it, and your brain, you know, doesn't want to it doesn't want to do hard things, honestly. Your brain does not naturally want to think, going to the gym is hard, so I should do it. Our brains need an extra reason more than for the betterment of myself. All right. So, with that being said, what should we do things for? We need to start thinking that we are doing things for other people. Not like a work kind of way where you write the report for your boss because he told you to, but like for the love of other people. Like, I go to the gym so I can look better and gain respect from guys and gain attraction from girls. I know nowadays it's like, oh my goodness, why are you so shallow? You should be doing it for yourself, don't do it for the women. Of course I'm doing it for women. Why would I not be doing it for women? The entire reason I go to the gym is so I can look attractive. Like, if I was to get stronger, that's great, I do want to get stronger too, but my dream, I need to look attractive. My entire work literally like depends on me looking attractive. And doing like going to the gym for girls is not a bad thing. I don't care what all these normal people say. We aren't normal. You're watching self-improvement videos from a teenager sitting in his own house telling you about motivation. You aren't normal. You're better than everybody else out there. You know, working out for girls is a great thing. Think about it. Have you ever worked out while you're horny? When you do, everything just clicks in the gym. You feel like you can lift more, you're doing more reps, you feel good about yourself. You're like, yes, I can't wait to come back. And even afterwards the pump feels better, and you feel like when you're flexing in the mirror that your arms look so much more sexy. And if you haven't gone to the gym horny, you really really should, because it is so much fun, trust me. But back to the point, this helps prove my point, because when you're horny, it's because you want a lot of girls, you want to reproduce. Be- so instead of thinking about it as going to the gym to get girls and have sex with them and stuff like that, think about it as going to the gym out of the love for your future wife, because one day I'm going to be 26 years old, getting married to my future wife. And do you think she would want me to have a beer belly and little flabby arms and a skinny neck? No. She would want me to look attractive, to be healthy, to be strong. So, whenever you really need that motivation to go to the gym, future wife, she wants me to be strong. I need to do it so I can get her because I love her, The thing about the human brain is we are very social animals, and doing things for other people makes things much easier for the human brain, because it is hard for the brain to see itself, if that makes any sense. Like, it is very hard for the brain to see how going to the gym will improve yourself. I can sit here and tell you what it's going to do, and you can be like, yeah, you're right. But deep down inside, your brain really thinks, well, if skipping this one gym session isn't going to be so bad, and then you do that every week, and then you do that every day, and then you're fat again. But if your brain thinks, well, if I skip this gym session, my future wife's going to be disappointed in me, suddenly your brain's like, maybe I should go to the gym right now. So just apply that to your life. Always try and just figure out, how can I be doing this for out of the love of someone else? Now let's take something that seems a little tricky to find. Let's talk about studying for a test in high school. How could you be doing this for someone else? It impacts your grade, you know? What does this have to do with anybody else? And although it doesn't seem like it, there's actually a huge reason I can see right now. And trust me, when you're thinking about doing things for your future self, a lot of it's going to be your future wife and kids. And I know this seems like, what? A high school test for your future wife and kids? But let's just, break it down a bit and spread it out over a huge timeline to think about it. You study for tests in high school to get good grades, right? So if you study for this test, you get an A, let's say. And that A brings your grade up in maths for an A for high school. You get an A in high school for math, science, social studies. You get all A's in high school because you studied for your tests. And now that you have all A's in high school, all these colleges want to give you money to go to their schools, and you can get into better colleges because you have straight A's in high school because you studied for your tests. Now you go to college, you study in college, you get a degree. and you use that degree to get a good job, or to start your own business, maybe if you have a business degree or something. And you can use that degree to support your family, because a job with a degree always is going to pay more than a job without a degree, except for a few very rare cases. But you know now you can use that money to support your wife and kids, to give them food, shelter, water, and to have them live a nice, comfortable life. Now studying seems like a good idea, right? You see how something as simple as just studying for a test can greatly affect your life later down the line. And if you can use that love in your heart and in your mind for motivation, now, maybe it doesn't seem so hard anymore. Now imagine trying to have a big external motivation for everything in your life, from school to meditation to going to the gym to freaking cooking food. I don't know. Anything, always doing it for the love of someone else. Despite what even a lot of these self improvement YouTubers say, like motivation isn't that important. All we need is discipline. And yes, discipline is a fundamental trait for every man to have. And if you do not have the discipline to do things without feeling like it, you really need to work on yourself. And I have a video on dopamine detoxing that will help you, and my intro to self improvement that will help you. So I recommend watching those if you haven't already. But it is so nice to be able to, want to do things, because it makes life so much more fun instead of being like, oh, I have to go to the gym today. Instead of doing that every time you go to the gym, you're like, yes, I can't wait to go to the gym, because, later in the life, I'm going to have a wife, and that wife's going to need me to be strong. And maybe one day the robbers are going to come and I have to protect her from those robbers. And that my big arms in the gym are going to help me punch the robbers out. Something like that. You see how just thinking future wife, safety, I need to be strong. And immediately I pump to go to the gym, because I'm like, you know, I need to be prepared. I need to be ready. As a man, I got to be strong and be able to fight. Because it is so much better just to have motivation to do things. Because imagine if your life was all discipline and you wanted to go for a run and you were like, runs. And then you had to do something else after that run, and you used up a bunch of discipline, and then you fall back over. Then you still have to go to the gym, and you're just there like, I don't want to go gym, help, please. Or imagine if you're on the run, you're like, what if I have to, take my wife and kids away and charge with them with on my back. That the scenarios don't necessarily have to be very realistic. It could be running to your wife and kids when a bomb's dropping on them or something. As long, well, actually, I'd make it more realistic like that. But like, say your wife and kids are in danger of being hit, and you sprint towards them, and all that running you did when you were younger makes you so you can get there in time. You know, it's always better just to be prepared than it's not. So use those for motivation and just move yourself. And then imagine you're already hyped for the run, and you finish the run, and you feel great. You're like, woof, and then you get to go to the gym next, and you're like, now I gotta be strong so I can, I don't know, maybe if my kids get trapped under something when they're little, I can pick it up off of them. And then you go to the gym thinking about how you're going to save your kids one day. And you see how this motivation really works. And you really need a good mix of both, because there are going to be times when you're thinking, do I really love them enough? Like, I really don't want to do this today. And those are the times that discipline needs to be there like that. So you can be like, no, I need to do this, even if it's for no one else. And you push yourself forward anyways. Now, this one being said, there is a lot of discipline still needed in your life. And you're not always going to be thinking about this video. So you still will always need to do the hard work, especially when you do not feel like it. Now, this was a bit of a shorter video, and if you guys want to see the longer videos or the shorter videos, just tell me, because these shorter videos I feel like I can use to tell you about my own experiences, like with motivation. But I also think that maybe I should do the more general things first before getting into it. Let me know. Bye bye.